Hello Chatbox out there, it's a brand new week, so you guys know what that means. A new week with lots of adventures to be had. I'm going to be taking you guys along on my adventures that I get up to this week. So it's Monday, a new start to the week, and I got myself ready for work. I was doing a 9 till 3 and I had some bed cuddles and listened to a bit of music while getting ready for work. I then made my way up to work, and on the way up to work I was listening to music on my headphones, and it started to rain, and I ended up catching the bus to work as I did not want to be getting soaked. And then I went off to Co-op and got myself a pan of chocolate and sat and had that. Luckily by this time the rain had eased off a little bit, and it was just so windy and so gloomy, and the storm was well and truly here. I then got into work, got clocked in and put my bag and coat away, and I had my drink that I got from the Co-op when getting my pan of chocolate, and I had a bit of that and helped open up a cafe bar, and it was just me and one of a colleague on shift, and it started off quite quiet. I had the workers in for coffees, a few people coming in for breakfast, and then as the weather got a little bit better towards the middle part of the afternoon, we had quite a big lunch rush, lots of people coming in, and we have kids eating for a pound at the moment in my workplace, so we had lots of kids everywhere, so it felt more like a nursery than a cafe bar. Toys everywhere, lots and lots of screaming kids running around everywhere, and yeah, it was insane. And like I said, it was just me and one other colleague, so I was doing lots of food and drink orders and drinks making, lots of food and drinks, cleaning tables, putting tables together with big walk-ins that came in, and then it quieted down again, and I did a massive clean up, and then I finished at 3 and I clocked off, and Tash was coming in at 3 and I gave her a massive hug and was just having a good catch up with them. And then I clocked off and got changed into the t-shirt I'm wearing right now, and then I headed off, and just before heading off I got a mirror selfie from my workplace, and I'll show you guys that. That mirror always reminds me of the mirror from Harry Potter. I then went off to the Co-op, I got myself some lunch from there, and then popped to one of the flower shops in the high street, and I got some plants out from there, and I'll show you guys those. I love those plant displays, they're so pretty with all the pretty plant pots and the succulents and cactuses. I then was having a lovely chat with the flower shop keepers in there, and then I got some flower starts from there, and I'll show you guys. They've always got such beautiful bouquets of flowers in there with such lovely colours on the flowers, and I love all the roses and the dahlias. As you guys know, roses, dahlias and sunflowers are my 3 favourite flowers to get snaps of. They're just so beautiful. I then made my way back, and on my way back I was listening to music on my headphones, and it started to spit a little bit, so I thought it was going to rain again, so I was like, oh god, luckily I had my brolly in my bag just in case. But then the sun came back out and it was lovely and sunny with beautiful blue skies, so I was enjoying the sunshine whilst making my way back. I had to put my hat on, don't want to be getting sunburnt, and put a little bit of sun cream on as well because it's actually very hot and still very muggy out there. I then got home and I had my lunch. I'd got myself a meal dough, and I had some egg and crust sandwiches, which was so good, and had that with a cup of tea in my cactus mug that I got from Tiger the other day, and it's such a cute mug. I then watched a little bit of TV and was having some bear cuddles, and my mum and dad had taken my grandma off for a doctor's appointment in Bristol, and they then called up and were ordering fish and chips for us to have for tea. I then gave Bear his food, and I'd not done it before, so I had to weigh out the food in his food bowl with the scales. So I called my dad, and my mum picked up, and I put on speaker so she could talk me through it, and I can now do it next time on my own. It's just I hadn't done it before, and she like all over me wanting me to feed him, so got his food. And I thought they were going to be back in time for his feeding time, but they were stuck in traffic, so I had to do it. And yeah, I'll be able to do it again. And then I was just sorting out my Blue Dot doll into a new look, and I'm show you guys that. Here's my Blue Dot doll's newest look. Starting off with the shoes, she's got these white high heels on, it's a black netting stockings, and then she's got this beautiful blue floral dress with lots of roses all over it, and it's heart cut, and then there's a little brooch at the top, and then she's got this white jumper underneath and her black hat, and this is the whole look. The flower dress she's wearing matches the wallpaper behind her, and that's just so cute. I then was listening to a bit of music because we're drawing colouring in and reading some more of One Day, and I'm so almost finished with that. I then was just watching some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos, and then my mum and dad and grandma got back from being at my grandma's doctor's appointment, and they'd collected the fish and chips, and I had fish and chips for tea, and I'm going to show you guys. The fish was massive. Then my grandma stayed for a little bit, and then she got dropped home, and I am now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away, UK soaps and Love Island final. I thought it was last night, but it is the final tonight. Can't keep up, but it feels like it's been going on for a long time. This season has felt a bit like it's dragged a little bit, and I'm not really sure who I want to win. I haven't really got a favourite couple this year, so it'll be a surprise for me as well as them. So yeah, just gonna watch and see what happens, and yeah, good luck to those in the final, and I hope you guys have all had a lovely start to your week, and shall see you with more to vlog tomorrow. It's now Tuesday, and I got up early ready to go off to the garden centre, my happy place, and I had some toast and a cup of tea for breakfast, and caught up on Neighbours, and had some bear cuddles, and it came up on my Facebook memories 5 years ago today. We got Purdy, and I'm going to show you guys a snap that I got from my Facebook memories of her when we first got her, and she was so tiny. She's so adorable. Can't believe we've had her for 5 years now. I then got showered and changed and headed off to go off to the garden centre, and I walked up and listened to music on my headphones, enjoyed the lovely sunshine and blue skies. I then got to the garden centre and I got some flower snacks from there, and I'll show you guys those. I love all the dahlias and the beautiful colours on the flowers. Flower and flower photography just makes me so happy. I also got some selfies of some of the flowers and blossoms and some of the little home setups they have, like in IKEA, with lots of funky patterned wallpaper and lanterns and stuff, which I love. And then I went off to the plant section, and I got some plant stats on there, and I'll show you guys those. I was having a good look around the plant section. I love all the pretty patterned leaves and the succulents and cactuses, and the plant displays are just so beautiful. I then went into the cafe and had some lunch from there, and I had a tuna cheese toasty with some chips and coleslaw with a Sprite, and I'm sure you guys. The food was so delicious. I then stayed in there for a little bit and let my food go down, and they had a really good playlist playing with lots of good songs on. I then had a look around at the home and stationery section, and then went off to get some more flower starts just on my way out, as I'd come across some more dahlias. And as you guys know, dahlias, sunflowers and roses are three of my favourite flowers to get snaps off, and I'm going to show you guys I just love the garden centre so much. I could stay in there all day if I could. I then made my way back, and on my way back I was listening to music on my headphones, having a lovely stroll back. I then got home and listened to a bit of music, just enjoying colouring in, and was reading some more of One Day, and I had a cup of tea and some of my gingerbread flour biscuits I got from IKEA that I finally opened, and they are so good. I was then just watching some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos, and I've seen on my dolls Instagram account, I post my Blue Dot dolls looks and stuff, that they're doing a Corpse Bride Monster High collected doll, which is coming out on the 8th of August, which is this Friday, and I have to get one of these. Corpse Bride is one of my favourite movies of all time, and I'm going to show you guys the Snapwater doll. She is stunning, and I've got the Beetlejuice one, and really want to get this one as well. So hoping, fingers crossed, to get this one on Friday. It's out on Smith's on the 8th of August. So I've got that bookmarked ready for Friday to get that. And then I was just watching some episodes of Doctor Who, and I watched a bit of A Strange Country and Father Brown, tidied up my office and my Dolls and Dollhouse, and then I ended up having a little bit of a nap, and then I was just doing some colouring in of some of my new illustrations, and then for tea I had some gammon and chips, and I'm going to show you guys that. The gammon was so good. I haven't had gammon in ages, and I'm now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away and UK soaps. Just see more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Wednesday, and I got up after a lion. I then had some peanut butter toast and a cup of tea for breakfast, watched a bit of TV, listened to a bit of music, and had some bear cuddles. I was reading some more of One Day and just tidying up my office and my Dolls and Dollhouse. And then my dad was off fishing, which he does most Wednesdays, and my mum had taken my grandma to get her nails done, and I was watching this film on Amazon Prime, and then the power cut happened. We had a power cut twice, and then my mum got back, and for my lunch I had some cucumber sandwiches with a cup of tea, and the TV and Wi-Fi started working again, thankfully, and I started watching a bit more of the film that I started watching before the power cut had happened. And then my older sister arrived, and me and my older sister and younger sister went off to one of the bookshops and to a few of the charge shops, and my older sister had some books and bits to donate to one of the charge shops, so I helped to take some of the stuff to one of the charge shops that needed to be donated, and I went off and had a look around one of the bookshops, and my younger sister got a book and a dress for a holiday coming up, and I'd helped to pick the dress out, and she was very surprised. I do have a good taste in fashion, you know, and she looked really great in that dress. And then they headed off home, and I went off for a little bit of a walk, and I'd gone to the Co-op to get myself a drink to have whilst on my walk, as it was quite warm, and bumped into my grandma who'd had her nails done and had just popped to the post office in the Co-op. So I called my younger sister to let them know that my grandma had finished having her nails done, and they came round and picked her up and dropped her home, and I then continued on with the rest of my walk and ended up going down to my town's castle. And I'm so fortunate to have a castle on my doorstep. I've been there for afternoon teas before, and it's just so lovely. I'd love to do a tour of there someday. And when I got there, I got a snap of the interior, so the front of the castle and some of the little bits of the castle, like the water fountain and stuff like that. Such a beautiful castle, and I cannot believe that one of the actresses from Sex and the City and Just Like That, a spin-off, went there a few weeks ago, and I was like, I'm always at that castle, and the one time that I go to the castle and she's not there, gutted. I'd have loved to have got to meet her, but they probably would have like shut it down to visitors with her being there, so I probably wouldn't have got to see her anyway. But I'm like, how crazy would it have been if I'd gone in there and I ended up bumping into her? Maybe next time. And then I was having a look around the gardens, and they were so beautifully kept, and it was a flower stance at that machine. I love all the beautiful flowers. Those purple ones with the white splodges on are just so beautiful, and the rose garden as well. I then went in to the castle and had hot chocolate from there, as you could go in. If you want to pop in, you can get a coffee or hot chocolate or tea and sit in the all afternoon tea lounge bits where you can sit, and I sat on one of the sofa areas and I'll show you guys the hot chocolate that I had. The hot chocolate was so delicious. I then sat in there for a little bit, and there's some classical music playing, and it was playing Clair de Lune and lots of other classical bits of music, and it's just so peaceful in there. I then, after having my hot chocolate, got some snaps of the lounges where you can go in and have afternoon teas, and I'll show you guys the snaps I got from there. It is so beautiful in there. I love all the tapestries and the chandeliers and the high ceilings and the massive windows and all the beautiful sofas and the fireplace and the King Henry VIII table, which is so cool. I then popped to the loo just before leaving, and I ended up getting a mirror selfie from there. And I love that bathroom. Is so fancy with tiles on the floor and the chandeliers, and I'll show you guys the selfie. You guys know how much I love a mirror selfie. I then made my way back, and on my way back I was listening to music on my headphones and had a lovely stroll back, and it cooled down a little bit because it had been quite hot and there was a nice little bit of a breeze. And I then bumped into one of my family friends who was walking their dog, and I was telling them more about how Bear's getting on, and he's getting so big, and he's had a bit of a growth spurt. And then I got back and was playing with Bear out in the garden, and one of his teddy bears, he's absolutely destroyed. There's now no squeaker or fluff in it, so it's literally just like an empty, it's got the head but it's just an empty body, but he loves it. It's his favourite toy, and he goes around the garden with it in his mouth, carrying it around with him. It's just so cute. I then watched a little bit of Star Trek with my mum, still not as good as Doctor Who in my eyes, and then I had a cup of tea and some biscuits and read some more of One Day, and was listening to a bit of music, just tidying up my office and my dogs and dogs a little bit, and messaging Tash. And we were going to be planning to go into T8 today, but we were both, she was busy and so was I, so we're going to be planning to go off for a day out somewhere next week. And I've got my rota for next week, and I'm working Friday night, Saturday split, Sunday day, then I'm off Monday to Thursday, back in Friday night, and I'm off on the Saturday onwards for 2 weeks, and I'm off on holiday. I'm so excited. It's come on so quick, and I cannot wait for our family holiday. I'm gonna miss Bear terribly, because Bear and Purdy are both going to be going to a dog and a cat sanctuary, as they're not allowed pets. Purdy was going to stay at home, and we were going to have the neighbours popping in and out, but we think it'd be better for her to be in a cattery because she'll get the attention that she needs and stuff. And with Bear, we were going to take Bear, but then we soon found out that they're not dog friendly, so he's going to be going to a dog place which is just up the road from us, so he won't be too far. And it's going to be weird having him in the dog sanctuary, as we've literally only just got him, and yeah, going to miss him lots, but he'll have a great time running around that place, and I take good care of him. And then my dad got back from being fishing, and Bear was going nuts doing zoomies, very excited to see him. And I was just watching some episodes of Friends and a little bit of Doctor Who. I then watched the latest And Just Like That Sex City spin-off, and I'm absolutely heartbroken to find out that it's finishing after 3 seasons. Good, but I'm also very grateful that we were able to have this spin-off, that we got to see more of Kerry and Charlotte and the rest of the gang a lot older and more mature, and getting to see what they've got up to since the series ended the first time around. I just love it. It's such a great show. Love the original, love the movies and this series. And although I'm sad that it's ending, I also love that we got to see more of their stories told. And then for my tea, I had a curry. My curry was so delicious. Never have it too spicy. I'm not really a big fan of spice, and it was just right. My dad got one a few weeks ago, and I took a spoonful of the curry thinking it wasn't going to be too spicy, and she thought my head was going to explode from how hot it was. So this time around I was glad it wasn't like that and it was not as spicy. I then helped tidy away in the kitchen, and then I finished writing my journal entry for today, put that away, and I'm now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps, and then tomorrow I'm off to Armsby Garden Centre, so I'm going to be setting my alarm ready to go off and get the bus there. My happy place. I love the garden centre and haven't been there in a while, so I'm looking forward to heading off there. And then in the evening we're going to be going off to Jen for Gamesley, and we're going to get there a little bit earlier as the weather's a lot nicer than it was the other day, and it's supposed to be nice for the rest of the week, and we're going to be playing rounders in the field nearby, so I'm looking forward to that, and I will see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Thursday and I got up after a lie-in and I had some cereal for my breakfast and just watched a bit of TV, just a bit of music, and I was having some bear cuddles, and then I got myself ready to go off to the garden centre. I was going off to Armsby Garden Centre, which is a bit further away than Dobby's where you normally go to, so I was going off to get the bus there, and I went off to the bus stop just up the road from mine to wait for the bus, but the bus was taking forever to arrive and it kept on changing to 21 minutes to then 49 minutes, which was doing my head in, so I decided to go off and get the bus up in the high street instead. And I walked up there and was listening to my headphones and listening to a bit of music, and I got there and one of the buses had broken down, so I'm guessing that's why the buses were taking so long. So I then got on to one of the other buses, which was just across the road at the Aldi's bus stop, so I went round the long way around, and then by the time I got back, the bus that broke down had obviously either been fixed or got taken off. And then I got to the garden centre, and I got into the garden centre and was going to buy a load of autumn and Halloween decor that they've got out, and I'm show you guys some stuff I got off that. It makes my heart so happy. I'm so excited for fall and for jumper weather, fuzzy socks, spooky season, spooky films, hot chocolate, pumpkin spice, everything. I just cannot wait, and I just love this time of year with all the leaves starting to change to crisp leaves, and I just cannot wait for all of that to come. I'm just done with the heat now. It's just too bloody hot, and this weather we've got today is very overcast, very autumn kind of vibes, and I'm loving that. I then went off to the plant section and I got some plant snacks from there that I'm going to show you guys. I was having a good look around that plant section, and I love all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty plant pots, and then I got a mirror selfie from this plant wall with this mirror on, and I'm going to show you guys. It's so cute, and I love that little bit of artwork. I love all the prints they have around there, and all the pretty cups and saucers and things like that. In the home section, I was having a look around in the stationery and the jelly cats and the sweet section, but I was very good. I didn't get anything. I'm trying not to spend too much as I'm off on holiday soon, so I'm trying to save up till then. I then headed off outside into the flower section, and I got some flower pots from there that I'm showing. I love all the pretty patterns and colours on these flowers. I then was having a look around at the outside area of the garden centre, where they have lots of like plant pots and things like that, and like garden accessories and stuff like that you can put in your gardens, and like garden sheds and ponds, and ended up getting a mirror selfie from one of the mirrors outside of the garden centre in like the flower section, and I'll show you guys that. That mirror is so pretty. I love a mirror selfie, as you guys know. I then went off to the cafe to see if it was busy or not, as I was going to see about having lunch in there. stuck my head in and it was absolutely heaving in there, so I decided not to go and have lunch in there. I then made my way off, and just as I was leaving I came across some more flowers, so I got some flowers out from there and I'll show you guys those. I then headed off to go get the bus home, and I didn't have to wait long, luckily, and I got up to the bus stop and the bus arrived. I then got off the bus just near to one stop. I went off there and got myself some lunch from there, also to get some bits from my younger sister. I then got home and I had my lunch, and I had some chicken Caesar wrapped with some fridge raiders and some lemon Fanta. I am obsessed with lemon Fanta at the moment. It's just so good. It's one of my favourite drinks at the moment. I then watched some vlogs and TikToks, listened to a bit of music and did some drawing colouring in. I tidied up my office and Dolls and Dollhouse. I then was working on a short story that I'm working on at the moment. I was reading some more of One Day and I've almost finished that. I'm trying to finish it before I go on holiday, and I'm going to be starting a new book for when I go on holiday. And I'm now off to go and just chill for the rest of the afternoon, and then I'm going off to Jen's for tea, and we're going to be playing some games, maybe play a game of Rounders if there's enough of us. If not, we'll just probably play some games like Monopoly Joe and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to heading off there and to see a little bit more of the vlog when I'm back from that. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at games night at Jenny's. So I got to games night, and just before that I'd got some drinks from the shop just around the corner, and then I got there and I brought down a board game for us to play called Shut the Box, which is a dice game which is so much fun, and we played that first of all, and it is such a good game, and I ended up winning that game. And we played it a bit differently to the way I normally play it, and I still managed to win, which I was quite chuffed about. And we then played this other card game and also a game of Finding Fortunes, which was really fun. And I was in a team with Tash and we won that. And then we had some bacon butties for our tea, and I'll show you guys the bacon butties that we had. They were so delicious, and I brought down some smoked bacon for us to have, and smoked bacon is definitely my favourite type of bacon. And then we were looking into Disneyland Paris, where we're going in October of next year. Getting that all planned and sorted out is just getting me so excited. And we had our games night playlist playing, and it was playing a lot of Lady Gaga, and I can't believe that me, Tash and Jamie are off to see Lady Gaga this October, which is insane. Going up to Manchester to stay overnight and going to see Lady Gaga is going to be so much fun. And I keep seeing all these TikToks about it, and it looks so cool. I keep seeing them, but I keep quickly getting rid of them because I want to not see any spoilers. I want to be able to see it for its beauty and not have any spoilers. So I'm just so excited for that. It's also my first time staying in Manchester, so we're going to be doing a bit of sightseeing, which I'm very excited about. And then it was the end of the session of the games night, which is always so much fun, and it goes so quickly. You want to say time flies when you're having fun. And I called it a night and got picked up by my mum. I then got home, and I am now off to go and finish my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away and UK soaps. And then tomorrow I've got morning group, and before morning group I'm going to be planning to order this Tim Burton's Corpse Bride Monster High X doll that goes out tomorrow, so I'm hoping to be able to get one of those, fingers crossed. And we'll see if more to vlog tomorrow. It's now Friday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely end to your week. It is almost the weekend, and I got up early ready to go off to morning group, and had some toast and a cup of tea. I was having some bear cuddles, and then I got dropped to morning group by my mum, and I got into morning group, and I wasn't there last week as I've had a thing on with Jigsaw where I volunteer at on Tuesday nights, and we'd gone bowling, so I was chatting with them about how it had gone, and they had done baking last week and were talking to me about that. And we're doing some baking again this week, and I always enjoyed doing baking at morning group, really enjoying my baking. And we were doing some fruit skewers on sticks and putting them all together, and then we were doing some colouring in of the stained glass pictures that you can put up on your window and the light would shine through. And we had some cups of tea and biscuits and we were listening to a bit of music. I then went off into the gardens and got some flower starts while we were having our tea and coffee break, and I'm going to show you guys those. We've got such beautiful gardens with lovely flowers, and I love those red dahlias and the sunflowers. I then was just helping tidy away, and just before getting picked up I popped to the loo. I got a mirror selfie from one of the bathrooms. It's such a cute mirror, and I love the fish prints on the tiles beneath the mirror. I then got picked up by my mum, and me and my mum had to go down to my grandma's to drop some medication down to my grandma's, and then we got back and I'm going to show you guys a clip of the things I got up to at Morning Group. Here's what I did at Morning Group. So we did some fruit kebabs with lots of different fruits on, lovely and colourful. Can't wait to tuck into these. And then after that we had some cups of tea and biscuits, and we did some colouring in, and these are stained glass colouring pages, so I'm going to stick that on my bedroom window and the light will be able to shine through, and it looks so pretty, and I'm very impressed with the colouring in. I did manage to stay in the lines because normally I'm not that good at staying in the lines, and had such a good session. And next week we're going to be having a movie morning, so I've got to remember to bring a DVD in. The fruit skewers and the stained glass artwork looks so good, and I stuck the stained glass picture up on my window in my bedroom and the light shine through and it looks so beautiful. And then I had some lunch. I had some soft cheese sandwiches with a cup of tea and some of the gingerbread biscuits I got from IKEA a few months back when I went with Tash and Jamie, and they are so delicious. I then got a mirror selfie for my bedroom mirror with the plushies underneath and the lights above, which is so cute, and I'll show you guys that. I love that little cozy section in my bedroom with all those plushies. I then listened to a bit of music and was just doing some drawing and colouring in. I'm reading some more of One Day, and I've got about this much left to finish, and I'm determined to finish it before I go on holiday so I can start a new book ready for holiday next week. So excited for holiday, can't wait to have 2 weeks off. It's going to be so good. And I then got myself ready to go off on a massive walk, and I headed off and was listening to music on my headphones, enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies, and the weather has just been so lovely at the moment. I'm hoping it's nice for a holiday, fingers crossed. And I got some flower snaps whilst on my walk, and I'll show you guys those. I was able to get some really beautiful flower snaps whilst on my walk, some roses, some sunflowers and some dahlias, 3 of my favourite flowers to get snaps of. I then got back and my dad had given my dog a bath, and he'd rolled in some fox poo, so he absolutely stank and it didn't go so well. He managed to get him bathed and cleaned, but he escaped several times, came into my bedroom to try and escape, went into my younger sister's room to try and escape, and he then was rolling around in the garden trying to get his scent back and just doing series around the garden. I then watched The First Wives Club, which is one of my favourite films with Bette Midler and Sergio Parker and Goldie Hawn. It's just so iconic, and also with the late great Maggie Smith. Always love watching that film. I then was just sorting out my office and tidying up that, and also tidying up my dolls and dollhouse a little bit. And then I ordered the Corpse Bride Monster High X doll, and it's arriving next week sometime, and I'm so excited to have that doll in my collection. And I'm now off to go and finish writing a bit of my journal entry for today, and I'm just going to be chilling before I go off to work this evening. I'm doing 6 till close. I've got my uniform ready for that, and I shall see you when I'm back from work this evening with more of the vlog. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at work. I had work 6 till close, so I got myself ready for work. I then got dropped to work, got onto work, got clocked in and put my bag away, and I got my lemon Fanta I got before work out to have some of that, and I'm loving lemon Fanta at the moment. It's so good, it's my favourite drink at the moment. And it was me and 2 other colleagues on shift, and it was super busy. We had about 4 or 5 big bookings in. Lots of people sat outside having lots of drinks, so I was doing lots of food and drink orders and drinks making, and running lots of food and drinks and cleaning tables and getting on with some of the cleaning and close jobs that I could get done. And then it then quieted down, and I was just running some drinks and coffees, and it then was me and one other colleague on till close, and one of our colleagues finished at 10, and then I finished about 11:30ish, and I clocked off and got my bag, and I got dropped back by my colleague who I was on close with. I then got back and I got into my PJs, and then for my tea I had some pizza. The pizza was so delicious, very cheesy, and whilst eating that for my tea I was watching one of the Indiana Jones films with my mum and dad, and then I headed off to my bedroom and I was just working the rest of my journal entry for today and put that away. I then had a cup of tea and some biscuits and was just reading some more of One Day, and I'm almost finished with this book, and I am determined to finish this book before I go on holiday, so that I didn't have a new book to read for holiday. And I am now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps, and I've got my uniform ready for work tomorrow. I'm doing a split shift tomorrow, so I'm doing a 9 till 3, 6 till 9:30, and I am then in 10 till 3 on the Monday, and then not until the Friday evening. And I'm on holiday. Can't believe I'm almost on holiday. This time next week will be holiday eve. So excited to go on holiday, and I shall see you more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Saturday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely start to your weekend. I got up early ready to do my first part to my split shift, so I was doing a 9 till 3. So I got up nice and early to get showered and changed, ready for that, and had some toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast. I then watched a bit of TV just before work and was having some bear cuddles with Bear, who's just getting so big, and he was cuddled right in. He's so adorable. I then listened to a bit of music, and then my dad brought me to work. I got into work, got clocked in, and put my bag away, and got my drink for work out of my bag and had some of that, and helped open up. And then it was me and 2 of my colleagues on shift to start with, and then at 10 another of our colleagues came in, so there's 4 of us on in total. And I'm glad there was, as it was so busy. We had so many bookings and lots of big groups coming in, and we had people sitting inside as well as outside, and we had the regulars in as well. And it started off quite quiet. We had a few people coming for breakfast and coffees, and it just got insane. Lots of people having smoothies and milkshakes. My poor barista made so many milkshakes, it was just crazy. And I was sitting and chatting to some of the regulars, and was running lots of food and drinks, doing lots of food and drink orders and drinks making, and cleaning lots of tables inside as well as outside. It then calmed down a little bit, so I was able to get outside and clean up the tables outside that I wasn't able to get to as it was so busy. I then finished at 3 and I clocked off, and I got my bag and got changed into the top that I had in my bag, and then I went off to Aldi to look in the Best Buy section. Always love a good look in the Best Buy section, and I ended up getting a snap of the sunflower from the sunflower display they had just outside of Aldi, and I'll show you guys that. Sunflowers, dailies and roses, as you guys know, are 3 of my favourite flowers to get snaps of, and those sunflowers are so beautiful, lovely and colourful. I then headed off to get myself a drink from the co-op to have for work this evening for the second part of my split shift, and also got one for my day shift tomorrow, doing 10 till 3 tomorrow, and then went off and looked one to the charity shops. I then popped into one of the coffee shops in the high street and got a peach iced tea and a cookie from there, and I'll show you guys that. The peach iced tea and the cookie I had from that was so delicious. I was then having a lovely chat with the workers in there, and they're so lovely, and there's always such a vibe in that place. I then headed off and had went some more to shop, and then made my way home, and on my way back I was listening to music on my headphones, just enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies. And then I got back and my Monster High X doll was on the doorstep greeting me, and I'm going to show you guys a clip of that. I got back from work and my Cots Pride Monster High Skeletor doll was waiting for me on my doorstep, and I am so happy she's in my collection and can't wait to reveal her. So she comes in this beautiful package with this illustration on, and it says Tim Burton's Corpse Bride on, then it has Mattel and it says Monster High Skeletor, and then you open up either side of the box. Like so. And first of all, I'm going to show you guys the back of the box. So it has this illustration on the back with Emily, and has this beautiful illustration on. It's so pretty. I love all the details. And then on the side it has an illustration of Emily again with Tim Burton's Corpse Bride on the side, and another one of her. And then here is the doll. She is so stunning. I love the dress with the butterflies on, and her long blue hair, and her face is so pretty. And then she's got Mugget in between her ears, and the butterfly headdress and the veil, and then the backdrop behind her with all the butterflies, and just the details, and these shoes, and you can see her rib cage as well, and she's got the ring on her finger as well. She's just such a beautiful doll, and I'm so happy to have her in my collection. I can't believe she arrived so quickly. I only ordered it on Friday and she's here. I was a little bit annoyed how they'd left it on the doorstep for any Tom, Dick and Harry to just come along and be like, you know what, I'm going to have that. They could at least try to hide it around like the bins like they normally do, and it was just there on the doorstep. And my mum, dad, got my grandma's and my younger sister was down at the pub. So Bear was very happy to see me and was jumping up and giving me lots of kisses. So I was then just watching a bit of TV, watched a bit of Friends, and had some tuna mayonnaise sandwiches with a cup of tea and some biscuits, and was reading some more of One Day, which I'm literally this close to finishing. I'm so close to finishing this book. I'm trying to finish it, like I said before holiday, which is coming up, and I'm going to start a new book for then. So I've just got to smash through this last bit, and yeah, I already know how it ends, so I'm probably going to be in tears. And it's just such a good book, such a good film, and such a good series. And I've been rewatching the series at the moment, and yeah, it's just so emotional, but I just love it. And then my mum and dad got back, and my younger sister also got back, and I'm now just going to be chilling before going off to work this evening. I'm doing 6 till 9:30ish, maybe 10 at the latest, all being well. And then I'm back in tomorrow 10 till 3. Then I'm not until Friday evening, and I'm off for holiday. I'm so excited for holiday, cannot wait to be with all the family, and it's going to be so much fun going down to Dorset, and just can't wait to get there. Can't believe how quick it's come around. It's come on so quickly, and I shall see a little bit more of the vlog when I get back. It's later on in the evening now, and I'm back for being at the second part to my split shift. So I got myself ready for work. I then got dropped to work by my dad. I got into work, got clocked in again, and put my bag away, and got my drink to have my second part of my split shift out of my bag, and I had some of that. And it was me, Tash, and one of our colleagues on shift, and I was just doing a restock of the bar fridges and just topping some of the stuff up that we needed that we weren't able to do during the first part to my split, as it was so busy we didn't get time to top some of the stuff up. So I quickly topped up some of the stuff that we needed to get topped up. I then was just doing a massive cleanup of tables inside as well as outside, as it's been pretty busy. And then I was just polishing some cutlery and putting some clean plates and cups away. Cleaned the Fresh OJ machine, and also cleaned some of the tables outside. Needed to have a bit of wipe down, sort some of the tables out, put some of the chairs back and tables back that we moved apart. I then was just running some food and drinks, and did some food and drink orders and drinks making, and pouring some pints and doing some wines and gins. And we had a few bookings in and a few people coming in for food and drinks, and I saw and touched some of the regulars. And then I was supposed to finish at 9:30, but instead I finished about 9ish, and I was about to leave when my younger sister's mates who were on a pub crawl came in, so there was quite a lot of them, so I helped Tash on bar whilst our other colleague was on their lunch break, and so I was pouring pints and having chats with some of my sister's mates who I hadn't seen in ages. I then finished about 9:15, clocked off, got my bag, and then got picked up by my dad, and then went off to Tesco's and got myself some bits from there. I then got back from being at Tesco's and I got into my PJs and I had my tea, and for my tea I had one of the pasta Caesar salads, and I'm going to show you guys that. It was so delicious. I love Caesar salad cream, it's so delicious. I also got myself a cherry cola, some black cherry jam, so I'm going to have some of that on toast for my breakfast tomorrow morning before work. I love black cherry, it's so good, and black cherry jam is one of my favourite jams. I also got myself some pickles. I love pickles, gherkins, pickles, whatever you want to call them, they're so good. So I got a jar of those, had some of those with my salad, and then me and my mum and dad were just watching a little bit of Criminal Minds, and I'm now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today. I've got my uniform ready for work tomorrow. I'm doing 10 till 3 tomorrow, and I'm not until next Friday evening, and then I'm off on holiday, and I'm so excited to be off on holiday. And I am now off to go and watch new Wednesday season 2 and start watching that. Tasha started watching it and she was saying about it earlier on. I was like, no, do not tell me. So I'm going to head off and watch that now. Can't wait to watch the second season, and I shall see you with more vlog tomorrow. It's now Sunday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely Sunday West. I got up ready for work and I was doing a 10 till 3, which meant I got to have a little bit of a lie-in. I then had some breakfast. I had some black cherry jam toast with a cup of tea and watched a bit of TV, just a bit of music, and was having some bear cuddles. And then my dad brought me off to work, and I got to work, got clocked in and put my bag away, and had my drink put in the fridge last night before finishing work to have for my shift today, so it was nice and cold. And so I had some of that, and it was me and 2 other colleagues on shift, and one of our colleagues ended up having to go home ill, so our manager came in and took over at 10:30, and it was me, him and one of our other colleagues, and it got really busy. We had lots of people coming in for coffees and breakfast, and lots of the regulars in, and I was running lots of food and drinks, doing lots of food and drink orders and drinks making and cleaning tables inside as well as outside, and chatting to some of the regulars. And then it calmed down, so I did a massive clean up. I then finished at 3 and I clocked off, got my bag, and then headed off, and I'm now not until Friday night, and then after that I'm off for 2 weeks and I'm on holiday, and I'm so excited to go off on holiday with the family. It's going to be so much fun. And I went off to the Co-op to get myself some lunch from there. I got a meal deal from there, and then I was making my way back from there when these 2 ladies who were having some ice creams turned to me, and they had one left over and offered me it. So I was like, yeah, sure. And it was really nice. It was one of the black cherry magnums, one of the new ones. So I had that plus on my walk back. I then got some flower sets. They're so pretty. I love those orange red dahlias, orangey red dahlias, and that yellow one. And then I got back and my younger brother was over, so is my older brother and his girlfriend, and my older sister as well. And my dad had brought my grandma over for tea. I then got changed out of my uniform and put that in the wash, and then I had my meal deal that I got from Co-op. I then worked on some new illustrations that closed some of those in, listened to a bit of music, and was reading some more of One Day, just tidying up my office and my dolls and dollhouse. And then my mum was getting the tea ready, and we were having a picky tea as it's too warm for a roast. And we then had that, and I'll show you guys the picky tea that we had. The picky tea was so delicious. I had a ginormous chicken leg, and then my grandma got brought home by my dad, and then I had a shave, or a body shave, to like, there's a little bit of manscaping because it's getting really warm now and just needs a bit of a trim. Feels a bit weird. I'm having like it shaves, it's a bit irritable, a bit itchy, but I'll get used to it. And I then was just listening to a bit of music, wrote some more of my journal and put that away. And me and my older brother's girlfriend played some games. We played Shutterbox, this dice game, and also played Ludo. And I am now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today. And then me and my siblings are going to be playing some more games. And they're just up there in the garden currently playing a game of Shafid, so I'm going to go join them. And I hope you guys have all had a lovely week and weekend, and all have a great new week ahead. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you with a new vlog coming very soon.